I've won 2 Aniimo contests so far, and I don't think it's because I'm the best artist. So I went back through everything I submitted to figure out what I was actually doing right. I could probably name the first 151 Pokemon before I could name all 50 states. So I had already been following Aniimo for months before they had even announced their An Aniimo is Born co-developer contest. And when they announced it, I did what any normal person would do. I lost all sense of moderation. I submitted a lot of entries. Probably more than I should admit, but we're gonna go through them today. This contest would see creators compete to have their Aniimo design featured in the game. And while, spoiler alert, I did not win the grand prize, my design still beat out hundreds of others. Looking back through my submissions after almost 6 months has passed, I can see myself discovering a new approach to design. I was filtering all of my ideas through 3 ways of thinking. The first rule, and arguably the most basic, know the brand. If you're watching this in the future prepping for the next Aniimo is Born contest, before you pick up a pencil, do some research. There's hours of footage out there from the last 2 betas. Watch some of the gameplay. Listen to the developers' insights. Look at what already exists in the game. You could create the coolest, most edgy OC of all time. If it already exists in the game, or if it doesn't feel like it belongs in the world, it's not going to land. Aniimo has a very specific vibe. Soft, expressive, a little magical, emotionally available in a way that I will never be. If you push too far outside of that, it doesn't feel like Aniimo. All this leads me to my first Aniimo submission, Shocktopus. For a lot of these, I came up with the names first, and I kind of worked backwards and designed the Aniimo around the name, which is probably not the best way to do that. I imagine Shocktopus as sort of a portable charger creature. Lots of techie neon parts, very sci-fi gadget friend. The world of Idol leads more natural than mechanical. So even if I really like this design, it probably wasn't the best fit. Shocktopus was my first idea. Then I made Ampup. This is an electric dolphin puppy thing. I focused on how he would traverse through the world. I pictured him surfing along little shockwaves that it creates to propel itself forward. So I knew I wanted to design a whole evolution line based around this concept of mastering the current. I would definitely love to come back to these designs and rework them in the future. It dawned on me at this point that I wasn't just designing creatures, I was designing movement mechanics. This next insight really helped propel my way of thinking forward in this competition. You don't necessarily need to think like an artist. Think like a game developer instead. Games are not drawings. Your design isn't just a creature, it's a mechanic. Basically, I stopped trying to design the cutest creature and started thinking, why would I ever put this on my team instead of literally everything else? Like, does it help you traverse through the world? Does it change how you interact with things? Does it become part of your strategy when solving puzzles? What does this Aniimo look like from behind? Because that's the player's point of view when they're playing as the Aniimo. I started thinking of abilities in other games and how Aniimo could be designed to function like those. Like an Aniimo that works like an incense, or one that incubates an egg, or gives you higher catch rates. I started asking myself what would make this creature a valued member of the team, which leads me to my next and final insight. Let your inner child take the lead. I think at a certain point you have to ask yourself, would 10-year-old me run across the map to catch this creature? If the answer is yes, then chances are you're on the right track. I really let my imagination take hold designing Cybertooth. The name actually came to me right as I was falling asleep, which feels like the least helpful possible time for inspiration, but here we are. I imagined it roaming around outside of sanctums, sort of the way that stray cats roam around pyramids today. Basically, what if a cat looked like it knew some secrets that it refused to tell me? Which I guess is just a cat. Cybertooth perceives the world through static electricity, so you can use its static scan ability to reveal hidden items. I had so much fun creating for this contest. In the lead up to the winners being announced, I had already kind of made my peace with not winning because there were so many good entries. So seeing Cybertooth at the end of that post felt so surreal. It definitely felt like all my hard work had paid off. My winning design combined all of my previous principles. By knowing the brand, I knew that besides Hellion, there are no cat Aniimo yet. And by thinking like a game developer, I was able to design something that was visually interesting from all angles. And I imbued it with an ability that would encourage exploration. It was definitely influenced by all of the designs that I thought were cool as a kid. Watching fellow winner Beck's video revealed similar insights into the design process, and they yielded similar results. I think at this point I can safely say it's not luck. If you create something that resonates with your inner child, chances are it will resonate with other people as well. Then fast forward a couple months and there's a second contest, the My Life in Idol contest. This contest had a different structure, multiple categories, and this time the community would be deciding the winners. I basically ended up following the same instincts that I did in the last contest. So when all was said and done, I placed second. A good consolation prize for not being selected for the second closed beta. This contest ended up improving my work in more ways than I expected. It did make me start thinking about design more intentionally. I learned a lot during this process from other artists who were also submitting. I don't think that there's necessarily a secret formula to winning these contests, but I do think that there are ways of thinking that give your art a pretty good chance of being something that people really respond to. Make it fit in the world, think like it lives in a game, and don't lose that part of you that just wants to make something fun. Obviously, mine weren't the only designs that were chosen for these contests. So, next time, we'll break down some of the other winning designs and showcase the 4 that are actually going to be making their debut in Aniimo this summer. Until then, save often. I called it Mastering the Current. Get it? Like the electrical current? But it's a dolphin. Ocean. Electric. Current. Waves. Shock waves. Oh gosh. At a certain point, I had to stop and ask myself if I was designing creatures or an entire DLC.